Hello there, Rams fans. Higgo here. It's Wednesday, August the 8th. That's just 3 days away from the big Premiership kick-off against Portsmouth. Am I excited about that? You bet your life I am. Anyway, I'd just like to talk about the new signings that Billy Davies has brought in the close season. There's obviously been a few players brought in and the obvious players that have gone out as well. The first player I'm going to speak about is Tyrone Mears, because we're already familiar with Tyrone Mears. He was on loan to us from West Ham last season, and we've now bought him for £1 million. Now, I think it'd be fair to say that Tyrone Mears, the fans were a little bit on the fence about him, wasn't sure whether he's going to make the grade or not. Well, I think he put that right at Wembley, don't you? Fantastic performance at Wembley. Do you remember the two last-ditch tackles that he made? First half against Coombs, second half against Darren Carter. Absolutely match-winning tackles. So I'm hoping that Tyrone can build on that game at Wembley and hope his confidence soars next season and that he turns into a really good play for the Rams. Moving on, we've spoken previously about Rob Earnshaw. Now, one thing that we know about Rob Earnshaw is he can score goals and he will score goals in the Premiership. I've no doubt in my mind whatsoever about that. We only worry about Rob injury. He's a bit of a Dean Sturridge type player, isn't he? Quick, fast, but also prone to groin injuries. I believe that's what he was out with last season with Norwich for 3 months. So hopefully Rob can avoid all that next season and prove what a star he is in the Premiership once again. Perfect foil for Stevie Howard as it stands at the moment. Moving on, we've also brought in Andy Todd. Well, we all know about Andy Todd. He's played for Blackburn and Bolton Wanderers. He's always been a good footballer, good defensive footballer, who we know can play in midfield also. The only worry I have with Andy Todd, I think he's got a bit of a fiery temper. Don't be surprised to see Andy Todd get a couple of red cards next season, followed up by quite a few yellow cards. But is that the sort of thing that we need in the defence midfield? Somebody with a bit of grit, bit of determination? I'm sure it is. Moving on, Claude Davis. Now, Claude Davis was part of the Sheffield United team that got relegated last season, but we hope he can bounce back into the Premiership with Derby County this season and prove what a really versatile defender he is. He's big, strong lad, exactly what we're looking for in the Premiership. Somebody big and strong and to sort those big Premiership attackers out. And the other player that we brought in is Andy Griffin. Again, another defender who can play at top flight Premiership football. We know we can do it. That's the thing with these players that's been brought in. They've all got points to prove. Is that a good thing for Derby County? I'm not sure. They can certainly play at the top flight. Let's hope they can prove to everybody what good players they are. Other players that have been brought in, of course, the two goalkeepers, young lads, Lewis Price and Ben Hinchcliffe. Don't know a great deal about Ben Hinchcliffe. Do know that Lewis Price has played quite regularly for Ipswich. Competition for Stephen Bywater. Stephen Bywater was immense for us last season, and he's going to have his work cut out. These two young lads coming up on the straights to take those gloves off him. He'll have his work cut out next season. Hopefully, he can keep them at bay. If he does, then that'll be great for Derby County. And I suppose really you've got to include Jason Beardsley as a new player. Now he's made a great impression in the pre-season friendlies. He really has. Can he do it in the top flight? Well, who knows? If Jason Beardsley doesn't play next season, then that shows that the players that we brought in are doing their job. So as much as I want him to get his chance, if other players that we brought in can keep him out the side, then obviously they'll be doing a job. Of course, in the papers recently, there's also new players that Billy's interested in on his wish list, so to speak. One of them being Kenwyne Jones. Now, it's reported that we've bid £5 million for Kenwyne Jones and it's been rejected. But do we want Kenwyne Jones? I think it'd be a good acquisition for the club. Again, another big, strong player that we need. And then there's John Stead. How do Derby County fans feel about bringing John Stead back? Again, I think it would be to and fro whether Derby fans are happy about that. He did quite well for us. Went back to Sunderland, went to Sheffield United. Somebody else who's got relegated with Sheffield United. How's his confidence? Who knows? And then, of course, there's Darius Vassell. Now, again, Darius Vassell is another striker who's had his ups and downs in his career. but he's a big player who we know he can do it at this level. Again, another person with a point to prove. And then, I don't know whether I'm going to get this name right, Mika Väyrynen, Finnish international. Apparently can play in the centre of midfield, left midfield. Don't really know much about him. But isn't it refreshing that the players that we've been interested in, the players that we've brought in, is not preluded by who? Makes a nice change, doesn't it? So there's the players that's been brought in and the players that we're hopefully going to sign. We certainly need some strikers before the season starts, or at least in the first few weeks before that transfer window closed. At this point, I'd just like to say a quick thank you to the players that's left the club, prominently Paul Pescasolido, Seth Johnson, Morton Biscard, Paul Baltin, and just recently, of course, Richard Jackson, a longest serving player in recent time. Big thank you to them and good luck in the future for them. But the season's really nearly here. So good luck, Rams fans. I'll see you all there on Saturday. Bye.